Will you accept the results of the 2024 election, no matter who wins?
Yeah, I'll accept it if I think, if there's no massive cheating. I accepted 2020.
We have example after example after example of Republicans preparing to reject the results of the November election unless they win and unless Donald Trump wins. Last week, I gave you examples of Laura Trump, Tim Scott, and others saying, well, if they don't count the ballots by this time of night, that would be fraud. It would be rigged. It would be evidence that it was stolen. If Trump doesn't win, it would be evidence it was stolen because it's so obvious that Trump could, should, will be winning. And we have more examples, and this is a particularly pernicious one. You may remember that Lindsey Graham was one of the officials on the phone after the 2020 election trying to pressure Georgia officials to flip the results from Biden to Trump. He was interviewed yesterday by NBC News' Kristen Welker, was asked, will you accept the results of the 2024 election no matter who wins? And he says, yes, if there's no massive cheating. And he says, listen, I accepted the 2020 results. That's not the way I remember it. Take a listen to this.
Will you accept the results of the 2024 election, no matter who wins?
Yeah, I'll accept it if I think, if there's no massive cheating. I accepted 2020. Here's what I would say. President Trump is poised to win. He said last night, when it comes to Israel, I will have their back. I will give them what they need. Bernie Sanders is wrong about the polling here. Most Americans, 80%, side with Israel. The 20%, unfortunately, are in Congress and the State Department that side with Hamas. That's the problem with this war.
All right, Senator Sanders, we are out of time.
All right, so the question was, will you accept the results no matter who wins? And he says, yes, if there's no cheating. And remember, I accepted the 2020 results. Well, two interesting follow-ups. Number one, I guess you've now accepted the 2020 results, but you tried to pressure Georgia election officials in 2020 to flip the results. So you must not have accepted the results at that point. Otherwise, why would you be on the phone? And the follow-up, the second follow-up that I think should be just mandated, not literally mandated, but it should be an obvious follow-up when people say, well, I'll accept it if there's no massive cheating. Is there any presidential election in which so-called massive cheating has affected the results? Is there even that in a single state? Because they love to say, I'm fair. Of course I will accept the results, assuming there's no massive cheating. And it might sound reasonable. Well, right, yeah. I mean, why would you accept the results if there were massive cheating? The counterpoint is there is no evidence that there has ever been cheating massive such that it would have made a difference in even a single state. And the way they say this alludes to 2020, where they're kind of trying to allude to, in 2020, there was massive cheating that affected the results. So as long as we don't have that again, of course, I will accept the results, except that that's not actually what happened in 2020. So we do need more follow-up with these folks during these interviews. And there's no doubt that Lindsey Graham is kind of trying to placate or kowtow to those absolute worst of the worst folks who still believe 2020 was stolen. He is setting up to again question the results. And of course, Kari Lake is as well. Let's talk about that next. It is time to start thinking like voters and to make sure that kids understand the importance of voting, how it works, registering, ballot initiatives, because so many kids just have no idea. That's why I wrote the new children's book, Think Like a Voter. I can think of no better time and no more important group of folks to try to reach. The book is now available at davidpakman.com/book, where, by the way, you can get the first two books in the series as well. Think Like a Detective and Think Like a Scientist. Really important stuff. Donate them to local libraries, classrooms, read them with the kids. davidpakman.com/book.